live. Listen, we live. You know what I'm talking about? There we go. Got the mic on it. We got the mic. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate everybody stopping by this live. Um, the title that we'll be speaking about is NATO versus Russia Part Two. A lot of people like to say Ukraine versus Russia, but when we get to talking about this, you kind of realize that it's technically NATO versus Russia. It's not Ukraine by itself. This is versus Russia, and more importantly, you have to realize that their next door neighbor is Europe, and Europe has partnerships with France, Great Britain, America, Ukraine. Well, they tried to do it with Ukraine. Who else is out there? America. Oh, I already said that already. It's another one. The UK. I believe it's the UK. And they have other partnerships with other individuals. Some people would say a partnership, but it doesn't really look like a partnership. It looks like a one world hidden agenda right there in front of everyone. But, a lot of people don't do research, so they probably never realize what it is. So, we're about to get into this conversation or whatever the case may be. I appreciate everyone that's stepping by to actually listen to the live. If you could do me a small favor by actually subscribing to my channel. As you do that, you get, all content that will be loaded up on here. I will be on here more consistently. You will be seeing me more often. This is a priority for me. So we're about to get into these conversations. And like I said again, we are talking about NATO versus Russia. And the reason why I didn't say Russia versus NATO, because NATO is Russia is technically on a defense. They're technically defending themselves against attack from NATO, just being honest. And if you know anything about NATO, NATO is stationed in every country down there. I think it's quite funny that NATO has NATO bases in every part of the country. Like, just being honest with you. You got a station in Japan. You got a station in Africa. You got a station everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, NATO stations are everywhere. And I just quite fight funny that, no one is looking at that. No one doesn't think that's strange when it is very strange. It's strange for one country to be in everyone else's country. And not only that, what I find very strange is that a lot of people don't pay attention to is that how they want to change the people's minds into American minds, which I feel as though no country should be doing. Like, if you're coming here as a partnership to help someone, that's something totally different. So it's like, if you pay attention to America and Africa relationship, right? You'd be like, well, America doesn't work with Africa. Why is that though? Why is that? You know why? I'll tell you why. It's because it is. When you look in America, right, they would tell you this is a first world country, right? This is the best country ever. But in all reality, socially, it's not. Economically, it's not. Just being honest. If you're coming here for business, then that's something totally different. But if you're coming here for like your personal life, I would tell you go somewhere else. Why? Let me just show you what they got for you, okay? If you are an American citizen, I'm going to show you what they have for you real quick. I'm going to show you what all the mind tricks they got for you. So if you are an American citizen, most American citizens are supposed to abide by the Constitution. Man-made law is for man, not for everyone else. If you get what I'm saying. The Constitution is something that we fall underneath, right? Mankind's law is for mankind. That has nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you is that just in America alone, it's like two different networks. It's like some people will say the Constitution overrides law, which it does, because the Constitution was here first, right? We still on topic, just pay attention to what I'm saying. But then you got two separate networks. You got Russia. You got the Constitution and you have law. Those are two different type of networks. Like, What we're not really living the life that we're supposed to be living. If you look at the Constitution, you come to realize like you have more freedom. You pretty much can do whatever you want, long as you're not really harming no one. But then you have law, which means like just being honest. Law is not supposed to override the Constitution in any type of way. And what I mean by that, as in like when you go, let's say you in New York, right? You know your constitutionary rights is basically stripped from you. And I'll show you. When you go for a drive, you gotta have that driver's license. When you get that car, you gotta have that insurance. Now you're looking at me and saying, well, you're supposed to have that. The Constitution says nothing about that though. The Constitution doesn't say that you have to get a driver's license. The Constitution doesn't say that you have to get insurance for your car. But mankind's law tells you that you have to do that. But do you actually have to follow law? No, you really don't. But the reason why most people follow law is because on the simple fact everyone is doing it. So if everyone is doing it, that means I gotta follow, right? And that's the difference between leaders and followers, because leaders realize like, okay, listen, they have mankind's law, but technically the Constitution actually overrides that, right? Now, with that one issue, I feel as though there's many issues that we can talk about, but I had to bring it there. That way people can understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about this country. This country is upside down. It's not upside up. It's upside down. Because, like I said again, you have people that are going through, man's law that's not real. And then you have the Constitution that is actually real, that been here before law was even invented. But when you have groups of people just following law, then things get flipped upside down. Because the people here in America don't do research. They just go based on what the programming tells them. If the programming tell them like, yeah, you got to follow law, they're going to follow law. If they did research, they come to realize like, oh yeah, we don't have to follow law. That's actually by choice. You can actually follow the Constitution and you'll be a lot more freer than what you are now. You know what I'm saying? So like, just to get back on point, I am on point, but just to show people like from different countries, when you look into America, these people are technically not free, but they believe that they're free. You know what I'm saying? So what you have is a group of people, okay, a group of workers, just being honest, that thinks this country is the best when in our reality is not. They have the economics, but their economics is actually falling down. Their financial system is falling down. So America is not, I could be honest with you, like America doesn't look like a number one country that you really want to come to. Don't get me wrong, you can get your business here, establish you a bag, and then leave. You know what I mean? Because if you actually look at what's going on in America, a lot of Americans are leaving. Just being honest. And so, when it comes to this Nato and Russia thing, right? What you are seeing, to me, what I'm seeing, is Russia basically defend itself against a tyrant type country. And what I mean tyrant type countries are literally everything that's in NATO are tyrants. They're more of like, if we can't conform your country into being what we want it to be, we will basically sabotage your country and to basically conform it into being into an American type of country. Everyone that is basically in NATO, right? Just being honest. Everyone that has a partnership with NATO, right, has really no, how can I say this in simple terms? They really have no ownership to their minds or their opinions. And the reason why I say that is because once you join in with NATO, you're pretty much like basically surrendering to NATO and saying, I would prefer you to run my country, right? It's not a partnership. A partnership is more of me and you coming together, right? and I say I had this and you had this, and we make fair trades. Well, with NATO, NATO is more like we want you to change, right? How, basically, how you do. Basically, we want to change. Basically, NATO wants to change how your life structure is. And the reason why I say that is because, on the simple fact, when it comes to places like Africa, a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of people don't do research and realize that, why isn't America, actually you doing some type of partnership with Africa? Or why isn't Africa doing some type of partnership with America? It's simply because it is. If you go back around Obama time, right? Obama went over there to Kenya or Uganda, somewhere in there. He went to go talk to the presidents of those countries. And what ended up happening was the president of those two countries was basically saying, like, listen, we're not interested in the agenda of what you guys have. And what they were offering them was pretty much like, we want you, NATO, which is America, wants Africa, right, to tell their citizens it's okay to accept, how can I say, GA wives, apostrophe S, Transformers, the movie, yeah, and a whole lot of different things that's going to basically have the country upside down mentally. Okay, so being that they would not pick that up and then now attach that type of mindset to their mind, America was like, we don't want to work with you guys. And this is how America operates. This is just how it operates. If you don't pretty much turn yourself into a transformer or do what they tell you to do, then it's pretty much going to be a problem. Just being honest. Okay? I know a lot of people are going to get mad about me saying the word transformer. I really don't care. That's actually real. You have people that transform themselves into things that they're not supposed to. And so I am straight, and I'm going to stick on the truth of what I speak. I don't care about anyone's feelings. And more importantly, what I have realized from people is that most people's feelings, when you say the truth, are artificial, because you should never get mad at the truth at all. When someone is telling you the truth, it is the truth. And you can't knock them down because they're telling you the truth. You get upset about it, it means that you have been programmed to be an artificial being to yourself and towards others. Okay? So when someone tells me the truth, it doesn't hurt my feelings, because you know why? I am a person of truth. So when they tell me the truth, no matter how it comes, it's the truth. And that's what's wrong with a lot of Americans. Okay? Guys don't like to take the truth. You guys like to boo-hoo and cry. And then after that, you get an individual like me that doesn't care about your tears. Because you realize that, the truth hurts. So lies must feel good. Lies feel good? Okay. So, like I was saying again, back to the point of what I was talking about with NATO and Russia, right? NATO is pretty much like a tyrant, like I said before. And Russia is not a bad individual at all. I actually like what Russia is doing, actually, by fighting back and saying, we're not going to submit to you guys because of the simple fact, this is not your country, you're not us, and we're going to do what we want to do. Gunshots. All right. Now, NATO is defending itself, and America is basically extorting. To me, they're extorting Russia. We're trying to extort them. If you did some research and you went back on, right, Russian maps, not U.S. maps, but the Russian maps, you'll come to realize before 1990, right, Ukraine was already owned by Russia. And many other different spots in that area next to Russia was already owned by Russia. Now, you guys would say, well, technically they didn't, because Ukraine and Russia are two different states. No, they're not. No, they're not. If you was to go in Ukraine, those people are not Ukrainians. Those people are Russians. This is pretty much family checking family. Okay? It's not what you think it is. So, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Okay? You have Russia. You have Europe. Okay? Ukraine is actually a part of Russia. Okay? But Europe wants to convert Ukraine into Europe. Okay? And how they do it is like this. The Russians already told America when Obama was in chair, stay out of the fight of what we're doing, because if you guys get into it, it's going to become more of a problem. Okay? And this is when Obama was in chair. And if you notice with Obama, just pay attention. If you notice with Obama, he didn't really want to get into it with Putin. It's not because some people would say he's afraid. Some people would say he's scared. No, it's not that. It's just being logical. When you're looking at a war that you have nothing to do with, you stay out of it. Because you can't be an individual that get in the middle of everyone's fights, especially when it's not directly towards you. Some things you just have to let people figure out. Okay? And so, what I would say about Ukraine is basically Ukraine, the reason why they're going through what they're going through right now is because of the portrayal that they have done. You can't portray someone and not for them to come back and do something to you. Okay? As in simply like this. When America told Ukraine, you could actually partner up with us. Okay? You can actually partner up with us. Okay? And that partnership was going to probably bring more dysfunction towards Russia. Because the whole goal, right? If you go back when, I say like early 2000s, right? You will realize that America, NATO, and Russia been had talks with each other where they were basically telling each other, Russia's telling America, like, listen, you're not going to convert things in the backyard of Russia into NATO because it's called infiltrating. Okay? Russia is the front yard, and the backyard would be Ukraine and everything else that's around it. Now, before 1990, like I had said again, Russia already owned Ukraine and other different parts that is around it. Okay, they were already with a partnership with Russia already, and so what happened was simply this: they basically portrayed the Russians by saying, "Oh, we're gonna drop, the agreement that we have with y'all, and now we're gonna basically convert and to start being NATO, which is you're going underneath the umbrella of Europe." And we know that Europe, they're not, how can I say this? They're not logical people. They're savages. Okay? And so Russia can see that. Most people that do research, they can see like, yeah, when it comes to NATO, they're savages. They're not actually here to help you. They're actually here to convert you into things that you don't want to actually be. Just to get some type of resources. Okay? And so what you have now is you have Russia that is defending itself, and you have NATO that's basically trying to convert everyone into a one world hidden agenda. They always like to say China and Russia are doing a one world order. Well, NATO, if you think about it and you do research upon it, you'll come to realize that this is a one world hidden agenda. This means that this is what they're doing. Let me put air bases, watch this. Let me put air bases on every continent, yeah. Then after that, I'm going to have all the people in your country agree with all the American things that we're doing, converting your mind, basically instituting your mind. And then after that, we're going to basically put our own currency in your your country. That way, our currency, which is a dead dollar that has no value to it, will always be on top because you know why? Every country accepts it, or it's their main currency. That's what I mean by actually accepting it. And so Russia's seen that from afar. Okay, they're not stupid. They're not ignorant people. Unlike what's going on here in America. Okay, and so they can see that in their backyard, pretty much. They can see that America was trying to build certain partnerships like Ukraine, which is right next door to Russia. Now pay attention. If listen to me. Let's just say if Russia never stepped up at all, okay, and never defended themselves, do you know what had happened? Let me tell you what happened. Basically, what you would have had to happen is basically you would have had NATO infiltrate Ukraine, right? And have Ukraine thinking like, yeah, Russia is pretty much a bad guy, or whatever the case may be. And you guys, this is what you guys need to do. You guys need to let us set up a base here and also put nuclear weapons. Oh, we know. Put nuclear weapons, right, inside of Ukraine, just in case if those Russians ever wanted to fight back, all we got to do is press a button on them. This is the whole hidden agenda, pretty much. A lot of people don't see it like that, but if you was to pay attention of how American move, NATO, right, you notice that they do that to everyone. Okay? Sabotage you, and then come like, oh yeah, we're your friends. Yeah. And another thing I want to say is that, because I know some people are going to come in this video and probably say a couple of things or whatever the case may be, but one thing I want to say is that what Russia is doing, they're not doing anything wrong, in my eyes. Gunshots. Those gunshots that they're doing, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. Okay? America needs to stay out of people's fights. America needs to understand that, what they got going on is what they got going on. And what we got going on is what we got going on. Now, pay attention. A lot of people would say that, well, America is not getting in a fight with Russia. Yes, they are. Listen to me. Just because you sit somewhere else, right, and you're funding Ukraine with weapons. America, we see what you're doing. We see what you're doing. We see you. Yes, we see you. You're funding them with weapons. And when you fund another country with weapons, aren't you not inviting yourself into a fight that you don't have to? You know what I find funny? Let me show you what I find funny in America. You have inflation, depression, their financial networks are crashing. America is crashing at an all-time high. Okay? All right. And what I'm starting to realize, I hope the people realize, is that, have you noticed that they had taken out a $1.7 trillion type, how can I say, package, right? And majority of that money, okay, went to Ukraine. Some of it went for breast pumping, so women can pump their breasts while they're at work. I mean, think about that. You're pumping your breasts at work to feed your baby, and you gotta work. And the government is going to fund that. Like, yeah, looks kind of fucking sick if you ask me. Just being honest. It's pretty much like American women, when it comes to America, because America is pretty much a woman as well, and she's probably the biggest woman there, but she pretty much uses her other women as pawns. She doesn't give a rat ass about any of these women in here. She's like, basically, pump your breasts and make sure you're getting to working so you get to paying those tax dollars so I can fund these damn wars. That's how America move. You know what I mean? That's just how America moves, just being honest. And so, what you are seeing is that when they took out that $1.7 trillion, spending bill, none of that money went to the people. Joe Biden, the Democrats, the demon rats, the Democrats, the demon rats, gunshots. Okay, back to the topic what I was talking about. You have those demon rats people that are always saying that we're for the poor, we're for women, equality. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. Okay? That's what you people are doing. You're fucking lying. Okay? We can see the lies even before they hit the TV screen. Someone is watching you, America. Okay? Okay. And so, right? That $1.7 trillion spending bill that had came out, none of that money went to the people. Pretty much they threw money towards women's titties and said, pump your titties and work, pretty much. And so this is what I want to say to people is when Trump was in office, fuck you, because I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, oh, this is a Trumper. Fuck you. I like the guy. You know why? Because when Trump was in office, the fucking country was thriving. Gunshots. The country was fucking thriving, okay? Let's just put it all on the table. Let's just put it all on the table. When Trump, right, was helping black people, that's all this come down to, okay? He was helping black people, okay? He's a guy that basically, he sees the door, right? And he cracks it open. And pretty much all the black people just pour in there, okay? And so, you know, Joe Biden, the Klan, basically said to him, you're an in-lover. You're a ninja lover. That's what they said about Trump behind closed doors. I heard it. Okay? I heard it. It was like, he's a ninja lover. He loved ninjas. You can find Trump on the Prince of Bel-Air. He liked ninjas. And listen, you know, out of all the presidents, right? Out of all the presidents, right? You know, he was the only president that said, you know, if I could come back again, I would want to come back as an educated black man. Ain't that some shit? So you can clearly tell that he loves us over here. And they're mad because he's a ninja lover. Gunshots. Alright, back on course here again. Okay. That's why they don't like Trump. That's why his own people don't like him. Because he's a ninja lover. You know, he loves the original people of this land. Okay? And so, you know, with Joe Biden and the demon rats, I know you call them Democrats, but they're demon rats over here. Okay? They don't like that. They're like, you're supposed to be racist towards those black people. What are you doing over there? And Trump was pretty much like, listen, I don't care what you people got going on. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. Okay? Now, what I want to say, another thing I want to say is that, you know, when it comes to what America is about, America, when it looks at people like they're supposed to be like us. And no one should want to be American, just being honest. I'm not even American, okay? It's not something that is the best thing. No. Americans are very ignorant. And they're stuck up in their ignorancy. And they became slaves to their own ignorancy, just being honest. So America believes that, watch this, $1.7 trillion comes out, right? If Trump would have done a $1.7 trillion spending bill, more than half of that money would have went to the people. Listen, If you wasn't paying attention to what the TV was telling your mind, to mind trick your mind and to make you think that he was a racist, and you wasn't paying attention to that, and you was paying attention to financials and business, oh, we were winning. And we're still winning. Okay? We're winning at an all-time high. Right? And then you have these demon rat kids that come in, crash the whole market. Banks are crashing at an all-time high. Okay? Food is getting more synthetic than anything. People are getting more dumber. They're not getting smarter underneath this campaign. They're getting stupider. People were getting a little bit more smarter when Trump was in office. Just being honest. Okay? Now, I'm not a Republican nor am I a Democrat. But what I'm saying is I'm looking at the logic. Okay? That's what I'm looking at. So, I'm going to just be honest with you. Me stepping out of what people told me, they're like, you're supposed to be a Democrat because you black. No. I don't want to be that. That's not what the fuck I want to be. Well, you want to sign up to be a Republican? No, I just want to watch from the fucking sidelines and see what the fuck is going on in here. That's what I want to do. Okay? I don't want to fucking join your parties. I just want to see what the fuck is going on. I have my own fucking party. Okay? Alright. So with that being said, I'm just saying, if you stick your head out of the fucking sandbox and just come to realize, like, okay, so the country is pretty much at war with itself. It is, because Trump was actually speaking of the truth. And what is happening in present time before you. Oh, crucify him! Like they crucified Christ. Yeah. Hang your ass on the cross. Yeah, shit's still happening. Just in a modern way. And then at that, you have all these citizens that are like, yeah, man, get fucking Trump. Like, no, this guy, he's not the guy that you want to get. You know the guy that you want to fucking get? Fucking Joe Biden. That's who the fuck you want to get, touching on little kids and shit. What was wrong with you guys? Hunter Biden is a cokehead. Yeah, I said it. He's a fucking dope fiend. Gunshots. Yeah, this is a real character. So I'm not one of these fake news reporters. I say what the fuck I want, when I want. You got it? And I don't give a fuck about your feelings. You can report me to YouTube. I can give a fuck. Okay? Now, when it comes to that, right? And you look at the families, right? You look at Joe Biden's families, his son is a cokehead. He snort cocaine and he sleep with prostitutes. That's what he does. Hunter Biden should be Predator Biden because they're fucking predators. Especially Joe Biden. He likes to touch on kids and shit. You didn't see Trump doing that shit. You know what you guys were saying? Hold on. This is what you guys were saying. Well, Trump, he be touching on women. I'm going to be real with you. American women have no respect for themselves. So if he's touching on women, or whatever the case may be, they have no respect for themselves. They probably want to be touched on. Okay? I know how these American women work. They tell you no, but that really means yes. I know how they move. And don't try to misuse my words or edit any of my clips and try to use that back on me. Don't do that. Okay? We know how American women move. We know that it's nothing. What's running rampant in America is slut culture. Sluts. S-L-U-T apostrophe S. Gunshots. Now, someone's going to get mad that I say that. They're going to probably edit my clip and call me a misogynist. He's cocky. He's an alpha male. This and third. I don't care about any of that because the whores here are just whores. And it's okay to be a whore in America. But I noticed that you can't be a whore in other countries. Just in this one country. But I would say that there's a new woman around here named Comer, and she's beating all whores down. Just being honest. Okay? So, back to what I was saying before. Like I said, you have, Joe Biden. The predators. They call them hunters. They're predators. Okay? And basically, pay attention. They signed a new, gay rights. I said it. I don't care. Into law, which has nothing to do with the people because there's not a large population of gay people. They're like non-existent. There really are. They're not even like 1% of America. They're just not. They're like 0.0.0.0. Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like they're signing in laws for invisible people. They're not real. They're not. The only people that are real are the people that are straight. The other people like that are doing other stuff, they're not real to me, and they will never be real to my universe. You got that? You'll never be real. You're not. Even if you got rights behind you, you're still not real to me. You can edit my clip, do whatever you want. I said what I said, and I'm not gonna change it. Okay? Just as much as you would say I'm a black man, right, and I would disagree with you and tell you that's not what I am. But we'll go with that. Let me just ask a question. Are all black men accepted in America? No, they're not. So that means I don't have to accept you either. You got that? Thought so. And that is the power of basically fighting for your own conscience. You got it? I don't want to believe certain things are real because I know they're false in my reality. So I'm going to approach them as false. Like, yeah, this is not real. This is not real. This is not real. The only thing that's real is me. And other individuals that are like-minded like me. That are real. Everybody else in here is pretty much fake. Okay? And so, what you have in America with the Bidens is pretty much, is basically sign gay rights, don't help any people, and everything is just gonna magically just work out. Because what Joe Biden is betting on is if Ukraine win this war with Russia, we'll get paid off of it. And this is how America works. America, like, yeah, every war we get money, this is that and third. Not realizing like every war you guys been into, you guys getting your ass whooped. Yeah, if you do research and not pay attention to what the Americans are telling you, you come to realize like, yeah, they got their ass whooped in they got their ass whooped by the Koreans. They got their ass whooped in by the Arabs, Afghanistan, Iraq, wherever the station they was at. And they're getting their ass whooped again by Russia. But they're trying to do an indirect war. They're like, the Ukrainians are like, yo, get in here and help us. And America's like, no, we just took a fatal blow. They just took a fatal blow with the Arabs. Okay? And so, America is basically saying like this. They don't have that much power. They don't. They really don't. And so, what they want to do is basically, it's like handing down power. I'm not going to help you directly, but I'm going to help you indirectly. And so the $1.7 dollar spending bill that was just that was just basically initialized and handed down to the next country. You can clearly see that America doesn't care anything about the citizens at all. Does not give a flying F at all. Doesn't care. Okay? And you still have people in America still going to work, still trying to pay their taxes, still trying to live this life that already disappeared already. Americans really believe like society is still activated when it has been disactivated. Okay? If you're still working a minimum wage job, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You can literally get paid for just talking. If you haven't realized that. Oh, my bad. You probably don't believe in yourself, so you'll probably never get nowhere. That's your own responsibility as an adult. Okay? Gunshots. I like that sound. That's what I was talking about. Now, like I was saying with Ukraine and whatever the case may be, they're basically handing them down, tanks and different weaponry. Alright? And so, how America is looking at it as is like, yeah, sooner or later, we're gonna win this war, and they thinking they're gonna get paid from it. They're not. They already lost that war already. Let me tell you why. Let me show you how I know they already lost that war. Um, they've been talking about this ever since Joe Biden was about when Joe Biden was a little bit younger. We was just getting into politics. Okay? That's how long they've been talking about this war. And Joe Biden has been sitting in the background, right, for years to try to get Russia. For years he's been sitting in the background. Isn't it quite funny that now all of a sudden that Joe Biden's in chair, we're supposedly having a Cold War or proxy war with Russia all of a sudden? None of this stuff was going on when, Obama was in chair. The most that America did to Russia when Obama was in chair was throwing sanctions on them. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all they could do. There's nothing you can do. That's it. There's no need on bothering something that you shouldn't bother. Okay? So now, you have this whole thing with NATO versus Russia, right? That's in present time. And the reason why I say that I believe that NATO has already lost this war, America has already lost this war with Russia already, is because of the simple fact, if you go back, let's say, just being honest with you, if you go back 8 years to 4 years, between 4 to 8 years, if you go back and you do some research on what is going on, you'll come to realize that this is not the first time that Russia has basically defended itself against NATO. NATO that was trying to convert Ukraine into NATO. This is not the first time they have defended themselves. Okay? They're not attacking, they're defending themselves. That's what I believe that they're doing. And so what you see going on is that 4 to 8 years ago, Russia would basically defend itself against Ukraine. They would basically send someone into Ukraine. They'd do a couple of things, some people get shot up, stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. And I felt like that was a warning towards Ukraine to let them know, listen, you're still with us, okay? We are a family, and you're not going to the other side, because those people are tyrants over there. And they're trying to convert Russia into America, and Russia doesn't want to be a part of America. And that's their choice. They have a choice. You can't make someone do something that they don't want to do. And that's what's wrong with America and American people. They always want to make someone do something, because these people here, just being honest with you, they use psychological mind games here. Okay? Well, basically, if I can psych your mind out, right, then I pretty much got your body. And that's how it works in America, just being honest. That's just how it works. And so, when you have that type of system, of course you're going to have others that's going to get aware of it, and they're going to push back. Okay? And so, what I say is simply just this. The things that Russia is doing, they're defending themselves. They're not even on the offense, just being honest. They just see what America's doing, and they prefer to stop the problem before it gets way out of hand. Okay? It's the same way with China. Everyone want to say, oh, China's a bad country. America's a bad country. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Okay? China is defending itself as well. Just because you have an attack on Pearl Harbor doesn't grant you access to build U.S. bases in Japan. No. What you guys do in America is you use backdoors. And backdoors are simply, how can I say this in simple terms? Backdoors are simply infiltrating one country to believe that it's part of America, right? When it's really not. You're just pretty much being used. And to demonize the main country that you see before you. It's like this. Okay, America had an issue with Japan, alright? Japan supposedly attacked Pearl Harbor. Yeah, okay. And then after that, from Pearl Harbor, right, they basically say, we went to Japan because to secure the country, that way an attack like that wouldn't happen again. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to basically get inside of Japan. After that, convert the chip. Oh my gosh, words roll. Convert the Japan people into demonizing the Chinese people. That was the whole goal. That's all it came down to. That's it. And so now you have in America, when Americans look at Chinese people or Russian people, they look at them as in they're the enemy, not realizing technically NATO is the enemy. And when they say that Russia and China has a one world agenda, well, hold on, let me just say this. If they have a one world agenda, what about the hidden agenda of NATO, which is America? How come is that NATO, America, which is the same thing, okay? They just go by different names when they go to other countries. How is it that America has American air bases, Navy bases in every country, but other countries don't have that type of access with other countries? That doesn't look skeptical to you? I mean, a lot of people don't ask questions, but I ask questions. I have to, okay? How you doing? Appreciate you for stopping by. But I have to ask questions because to me it looks very skeptical. And the reason why I ask questions is because of the simple fact everyone in America is a taxpayer, okay? Which means that your taxpayer dollars, right, are used to fund wars. Now hold on, let me just say this. This is why I'm really very big on business, because when you start a business, you know where that money is going at when you're being taxed, okay? Blue states specifically, the tax dollars are ran two different ways. In blue states, you're being taxed by the state. Like, say if you live in New York, you're being taxed by the state of New York, and you're also being taxed by the Fed. Sounds quite crazy if you ask me. Unlike red states, where I come from, you are only being taxed by the state one time. That's it. That's it. That's about it. But when you come to a blue state, you're being taxed like 2 to 3 different times. But the main two tax they hit you with is New York state tax and federal tax. Now, pay attention. A lot of federal states, blue states, moon states, fund wars. I know you're looking at it like, well, what about the red states? They don't fund wars? Pay attention to what I'm saying to you. Red states do not give up taxpayers' dollars to the Fed. Okay? The Fed use blue states in order to fund these wars off their taxpayers' dollars. You would think it's the red states, but they're not taxed federally. Your federal government is the one that initialized type of wars, just being honest. They're pretty much the head, and everyone else follows. Okay? So, when I look at that process, and a lot of people overlook that, when people tell me that what Russia is doing to Ukraine, no, it's not that. Ukraine already got a warning, okay, from Russia a long time ago. If you go back to the map of Russia, not US map, the map of Russia in 1990, you would realize that Ukraine was already owned by Russia already. Ukraine is not a country by itself. It's not. It's Russia. It's right there in your face. It's not Ukraine. If you do research and look at the map from 1990, that's not Ukraine. They just gave it the name Ukraine to do what? If they call themselves Ukrainians, then it departs them from who? The Russians, which is their family. That's why I say this is family checking family. That's it. And what do they want to do? They want to now partner up with Europe. And we all know, like, you know, the blue boys are infiltrators. NATO. We know. Okay. And so what you see with Ukraine is basically Ukraine was in the middle of something that they don't even have to be in. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, people being shut up there, well, they chose that. Just being honest. That's the truth. Okay? They chose that. That's their choice. Their choice was not to infiltrate. That's the truth. You could disagree. That's on you. But to my research or what I'm looking at, it looked like Ukraine basically backdoored Russia. And Russia said, you're not going to backdoor me, because the whole setup is this. If I can, America's goal was to, let me convert Ukraine. And if I can convert Ukraine, guess what I can do? I can put some nuclear warheads or ballistic missiles to now do what? Control Russia. Because Russia is pretty much the big brother to Europe. Just being honest, they're neighbors. They're family. It's family just checking family. This is why I look at people and I'll be like, they're killing each other. This is going to been happen a long time ago. They're just reporting it now. Okay? And so now what you have is, you have a war that is going on, but Russia is telling America, do not get involved with this. We know what we are doing. You have nothing to do with this or what we're taking care of. And so you now have, think about this. You have America helping Ukraine, but America cannot help its own people. And do not tell me they don't have the money, because I just seen them print out a $1.7 trillion spending bill. Okay? More than half of that money went to Ukraine. The other half went towards titty milk. It went towards titty milk. I'm just being real with you. If you look at the 1.7, I know you're going to laugh, but if you look at the $1.7 trillion spending bill, it went to parts of the war, parts of titty milk, and some other stuff that doesn't really apply like that. Just being honest. Oh, the ban of TikTok. Okay. They should be banned, just being honest. TikTok, I don't know what's going on with them. But none of that money was allocated towards the people. Pay attention. That was Joe Biden that did that to the country. Do you think Trump would have did it? Stop. When I say the word Trump, do not think about races. Think about financials. Was the financials of America not thriving when Trump was in office? I was in the stock market. Financials was thriving. You guys call him a racist. Joe Biden is a silent racist. Just being honest. Okay? Trump is not what you think he is. Just being honest. If you did research up on the guy, and if you really come to realize, why is the country trying to destroy this guy? Because he's telling the truth. I know a lot of people look at me crazy because they're like, you look like a black guy and you're agreeing with this guy. I'm not black. I'm not someone that you can look at on a white piece of paper and then check me off and say, oh yeah, you're part of this group. No, I'm not. Okay? Okay. Just accept me for who I am. Or if you don't accept me for who I am, it's cool. You know, I get that all the time. It's cool. I accept me for who I am. That's all that matters. Okay? And so, like I was saying again, you have this country that is flipped upside down. It's not normal. It's not normal for, the way of living that we live right now. It's just not normal. And we want to convert other countries into the living arrangements that we have in America. America is not the best country. It's just not. I've been to other countries, and the way that people socialize with each other, the way they look at each other, right? Without money or anything else, those people actually love each other. In America, there's no love here. Pretty much, just being honest, people hate themselves. And if they hate themselves, right, then they're going to also hate others. And that's just the truth. In America, there's no love that's being shown here. Just being honest. The only love that's being shown here is people that actually love themselves. Just being honest. And this is why I'm big on telling people, love yourself. Because on the simple fact, when you love yourself, you can find that love that's within you versus looking at it from the world to give it to you when this world doesn't even have any love to give itself. It doesn't. America does not operate in a love system. It operates in a rage, in a dysfunctional system. Look on your social media apps. What do you see? People crashing their own lives. And they get paid for it. You crash your life, you get 1 million views. If you're talking like me, you only get 1 view. So look at the numbers. Pay attention. Now, I just started this channel. Of course, I got to work it up. More people are going to be involved. But look, if you're speaking truth, you get 1 view. If you're speaking lies and dysfunction and hate, oh, you get 1 trillion views. So you can't tell me that America is not full of dysfunction, lies, and deceit. That's what this country is ran on. Watch this. When someone tell you the truth, right? What do they say in return in America? The truth hurts. How is the truth hurting you? When it's the truth. So lies must feel good. I'm very logical here. So if you're giving American people lies, oh yes, this feels so good. Which means that you're an artificial person. Because in a simple fact, lies are artificial. It's not of truth, is it? No. Okay, so how can something that's a lie make you feel good? It means that your feelings must be artificial because your feelings are more attached to lies than truth. The truth never hurted me. Not at all. I just accept it for what it is. Do you know why? Because I prefer to be a truthful person. You know why? When I'm a truthful person, the truth naturally comes to me. If I become a lying person, then guess what? I'm just going to believe in lies. And I don't want to be a liar to myself. That's one of the main things. Like, people be like, yeah, I'm a liar to this person. I'm like, no, you're a liar because of the simple fact you're being a liar to yourself first in order to lie to others. Just being honest. Now, back to what I was saying or whatever the case may be. When it comes to this Russian and it comes to this NATO thing or whatever the case may be with Ukraine, a lot of people need to realize that certain battles America don't have to get involved with, and certain we as the people need to really start looking at what this country is doing instead of playing like fucking penguins. Just being honest. Because American people are being used at an all-time high. I know a lot of Americans get mad. Like, no, we're not being used. Yes, you are. You're being used. Just being honest. I used to be used too, but I stopped being used. Okay? And your taxpayer dollars is one of the main things that are being used. Being honest with y'all people, y'all really have an option not to even pay it. You don't have to pay it. You don't. You don't have to pay your taxes either. You guys choose to do it. And this is what you would say to me. Well, if I don't pay my taxes, I'm going to jail. Yeah, that's what you believe. I don't pay taxes and I don't go to jail either. There's nothing that federal can do anything to me. Why? Because I do not operate in a Fed network. My business that I have is not underneath the Fed. It's underneath the state. So with that being said, the Fed could never come after me with nothing. They can't. They're like, his business structure. I have an escort. Look into getting you an escort. Other person on the other side. If you want to do an LLC, that's cool. But if you are in a blue state, I recommend you getting an escort. When you sign your business as an escort, that's the business structure. It's just like saying an LLC. The difference with the LLC is that if you're in a blue state, federally, they can take federally taxes from your business. But if you get a escort and you operate within your escort and your escort is up to date, no federal taxes can be taken out of your business because it is a escort. That is the cheat code. That way you do not have to pay taxes. Do you see what I'm talking about? Now, when I had said that I don't pay taxes, you're probably looking at me like, where you're operating illegal. You see what I'm saying? So like, I'm not operating illegal. I'm just finding the legal business structure that I can operate within. That way I don't have to pay taxes at all. Well, federal taxes specifically. Now, hopefully, people take that information as they watch this broadcast and use it to their will, whatever the case may be. Individual said, I have been thinking about starting a business for a while too. I would be honest with you, this would be the best time for you to start. Um, Let me give you some motivation real quick. If you're waiting for someone to tell you start a business, always realize that validation starts within you first. You are the actor producer of your whole life. So even though I'm giving you motivation, I want you to do it for yourself. Even if you did it today, never tell anyone that I was the one to make you do it. No, it was you that did it. You got it? All you're doing is pretty much is just listen to me, right? And saying, okay, you know what? Let me just get this done. But you did it. It's not me, it's you. Okay? Because a lot of people get it kind of confused and they think like this, like I'm a different being. So like if I see a person and they're like, yeah, I want to start a business, this, that, and third, I'm gonna tell them like, yo, go and do that. And if they do it and they be like, thank you for telling me that because that actually made me start my business, I would tell them no. Take the credit and use it for yourself. Don't give me the fucking credit at all. You just listen to a reflection. I'm just a reflection of you. That's it. Okay? And you're listening to the higher version of yourself, right? And you're saying like, you know what? Let me just get this done. That's you doing that. That's not me. I don't take credit for shit that I'm not supposed to take credit for. I'm not the one that set up your business structure. I was just a voice that was in your head just telling you like, you need to get this done because you have a higher self that's within you that's saying the same shit. So if you want to do that, get that shit done, Daniel. That's your name, right? Daniel? Daniel Newman. Get that shit done because I want to see you win. And then also, as you do your business, depending on what type of business you have, I would want to do business with you. You know what I'm saying? So you can get yourself that financial freedom that you need to be. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I appreciate you as well, okay? But I really want you to, whatever business that you want to look into doing, only thing I'm going to say is just this. Make sure that it's a profitable business and it's going to last for about, over 10 years. At least a business that's going into the future. Something that you know is going to stay up for the long haul. That's, food, music, clothing, things of that nature. Or tech as well. I encourage you to do that. But always know that you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it because of the guy that's sitting in front of the camera. You're doing it for yourself. Because why I'm telling you that is because in the simple fact, you're not what they say you are. You're more than what you think you are. And if you come out of your thoughts and come into your subconscious of who you are, remember this. Your subconscious knows everything about you. The mind can only be taught by your subconscious or a third dimensional world that's on the outside of you. Now, the third dimensional world is a world that consists of lies. Okay? Your subconscious is pretty much the ultimate version of yourself. Okay? And so, in the process of you learning, right, from your subconscious, what is your mind doing? Remembering who you are. That's it. That's what you came here for life for. A lot of people get caught up in the matrix. They're like, oh, I'm supposed to pay bills. Stop. That's not what you came here for. Your subconscious knows everything about you. Make your subconscious the best friend you can be. Go back to the kid side of yourself. I don't care what you have to do. Make sure you get back to the kid side of yourself. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because when you came here as a child, you was more creative than what you were when you're adult. And I'm not coming at you when I say an adult. What I'm saying to you is that a lot of adults miss this process. When you are a child, you are here to learn. But you're not here to learn a third dimensional world. You're here to learn yourself. And the reason why I say that is because when you learn yourself, right, and after you master yourself, you naturally master the world. It's simple. Master self and self masters the world. And the reason why I say that is because if the subconscious knows everything about you, then it knows everything about this world. That's why I always tell people, go based on what you know about yourself, not what you think about yourself. Because when you think about what yourself can do, it would never be completed. But if you know about yourself, then everything that you know, you will naturally do. Let me just say something to you. The reason why I address it like that and the reason why I hand that knowledge down to you like that is because of the simple fact. Whenever you are having a dream, or let's just say deja vu, right? And you go through your life and you're like, yo, this feels so familiar. Pay attention. Let's say you wake up one day. You get up. You're going through whatever you're going through with your life. You're doing what you do. But in this one day, you're like, yo, this feels so familiar. Like I have done this before. You have. What I just told you. Your subconscious knows everything about you. Your mind is learning from a third dimensional world that consists of lies that you shouldn't learn from, or your subconscious, which is the true version of yourself. So, if you kind of realize what I'm saying to you, is that basically, whenever you feel that feeling of deja vu, that's what some people call it. Technically, it sounds like to me, you're living the right life because on the simple fact, if you're coming here just to remember what you have done, it sounds like to me you already done this before. And a lot of people don't realize that in life. Some people are thinking like, oh, this is a brand new life. Like, no, stop. This is not a brand new life. This is a life that you already lived already. And you're just coming here to remember. It's like watching a movie of yourself that you already in. You're just coming here to now watch it. Sometime within the movie of what you're watching, with yourself in it, don't get me wrong, you can change different things, but some things need to remain the same. As in what you said to me was, I've been thinking about making my business. Well, in a past life, you probably was never thinking about it. You probably just got up and just did it. And the reason why I say it like that is because of the simple fact, in this third dimensional life that we live now, we have a lot of distractions. But realize, you as the individual allow individuals to distract you, but take control of your own mind, focus, and apply and do what you really want to do. I know that conversation was a little deep. I had to get very deep with you because when people tell me they want to actually do something for themselves, I actually had to go into a deep discussion that way they can realize certain things about themselves to pull their mind out of what people are telling them and now look at the reflection of just self and say to self, look, I got to get this done. Because you got other people that want to shop from you. Whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I would like to support it, but it got to be you that pick it up off the ground and create it for someone like me to get behind it, to support it. Now, you should take that, right, and really apply that. Just don't sit here and listen to me and not apply that to your life, okay? Because there's not going to be another individual that had that talk with you. Why? Most people don't give a fuck about what other people got going on. That's because that's just the way they are. But I'm different. So when you tell me something like that is important, of course I'm going to keep pushing you and telling you like you need to get up, do what you need to do. Because that is going to basically, your business is going to thrive, and I'm going to speak this into fruition. All you have to do is just act on it. I feel as though if you did that, whatever your financials are, when your company thrives, you're going to be financially stable. And the reason why I'm telling you to do this now is because if you pay attention to what's going on in America, you can see that, you can clearly see the job market is not doing as good as it needs to be. You have AI that's going to be coming here, basically taking over. You're going to go, oh my God. Well, let me just point you to 3 easy areas. I'm pretty sure you probably already know this already, but I just want to inform you. Okay? First area you want to go to, well, the first thing you want to do is, name your own company, whatever you want to name it. But then you have to go to the what is this called? The state, what is this? What is this thing called? Hold on. I got it right here. Here we go. You know, the State Department. Mine is located in Florida. So you go to the State Department, you go to the Department of State, and when you go there, basically, you can go online or in person, and basically what you're doing is filling out paperwork to say, this is the business that I want to own. You got to go to the Department of State, though, okay? And depending on what state you are in, you could do it online or in person. I done mine's online. And so, I'll be honest with you, my guy, just to get this paperwork, it was about $35 just to fill out everything. And I basically got my business license. After you do that, you now have to go to Dun and Bradstreet. When you go to Dun and Bradstreet, Dun and Bradstreet is going to give you a free credit profile number for your business. Okay? That's free of charge. Now, the State Department, depending on what state you are in, it might be free as well. But for the state of Florida, it was about, I think, $35, $40, something like that for me to give me my business license. Okay? And so I went to Dun & Bradstreet, got my credit profile number. After you do those two things, there's one more other thing that I need you to do. What is the other one? The Department of State, EI. Okay, yes. Get your credit profile number with Dun & Bradstreet. And then after that, I need you to go to, what is that? US.gov in order to get your EIN number. And your EIN number is pretty much your social security number for your business. Okay? Now, before you do all that, you're going to need to get your business name, a business number, a business email, what is that? Business website. Yeah. Business name, business email, business phone number, business website. Right? Those four, right? Am I missing anything? Those four, right? Yeah. Those four. You get those four, and at that you use that, because you got to make sure when you set up your business, nothing can be personal. So your business address has to be a business address. Your phone number has to be a business phone number. And your email has to be a business email. You get those three things, and you apply that information to when you go to those three different departments, and you're going to just get all your paperwork. It's when I say it's so simple, I tell people this all the time. Life is like a click of a button. And the reason why I say that is because we are in a digital age and we just don't realize it. If you notice that in most states, you don't really even have to take care of business in person anymore. You can literally go online, fill out the paperwork, and it's done. Now, I know some people are like, man, I wish I could do it the old way where I can get in the car and take care. Like, you got to think about it. You got to get up, get dressed, take a shower, smell good. Then at that, you got to put your body in the car, transport your body from the car to the business. Then you got to fill out all this paperwork. Like, no, let's just do it online and get it done. Okay? And so, with that being said, if you need furthermore guidance, I can tell you what to do. But this is what I really want you to do. Just as much as you're on YouTube watching me now, YouTube is literally a big old information bucket. So the way I got my business structure was through YouTube. Just being honest. Because I'm a visual learner, so I use YouTube as a learning network just as much as I use it for entertainment, like just to look at certain things. But I use it as a learning network because, on a simple fact, it teaches my mind different things that are going on in this realm, this third dimensional world. And so that is how I basically learned my business structure. That's the way I basically got my business paperwork, by basically looking at YouTube and looking at how is the proper way that I can set up my business. All that knowledge of what you want, of what you really don't know, is really on YouTube. All you have, that's to say, life is a click of a button. What you don't know, you can be informed on YouTube. Just being honest. And if you have to do research up on it, you could. But when it comes to the business thing, when it comes to like doing research on your business, how to set up your business, if you just type that in YouTube, how to set up a business, there's so many videos that will inform you the proper way of how to do it. So even if you want to even if you want to do research, sorry about that. Even if you want to do research up on that, you can. But majority of the videos are going to guide you into what you actually want to. And another thing I want to tell you is this. When you already have it in your mind to think about what you're doing, think about what you're doing. You had said that you've been thinking about getting a business for a while. Well, the thought was up here, right? You probably already visualized what you want to do. Now you have to act on it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, basically what I'm saying is you already have your idea of what you want to do up here, right? But don't keep it stuck in here. Play it completely out. Remember what I told you. You came here to remember who you are. So if you come in here to remember who you are, you opening that business, you probably already done it before. You're probably just going to do it at a greater level. So don't hold yourself back from your true dreams, because that could have been a dream that you lived out and you can live out again. Don't let the matrix hold you back, Daniel. That's what I'm saying. I know I'm saying a lot, but don't let them hold you back, because they tried to hold me back and I was like, I can't have them hold me back. I'm too big. I'm too big. I'm too powerful. No, can't have this happen. I'm going to keep on going where I'm going to. And I say this to people all the time and people look at me like I'm crazy, but you will see me on bigger stages than just this one. This is one of my main stages that I'm starting for myself, and I love starting things for myself because I learn new things and it just has me very happy. And I want you to be happy for yourself, okay? That's the whole goal. And it's not just for me to be happy, but I want you to be happy too. Because when we have more happy people on the planet, we are more, when we have that emotion of happiness within us, we're more eager to learn. The people don't realize that with happiness. Some people think like happiness is just, we just happy. Like, nah, happiness go a long way, because when you're happy, you know what I mean? You're willing to learn from yourself primarily and secondarily through people. But always learn from your life experiences. Even if you make a mistake, it's still a learning experiences. Okay? Just don't get caught up in your mistakes. That's all I'm saying. So, Daniel, I hope the best for you or whatever the case may be. I may not know you, but at least we're having this conversation and you listen to this conversation, you'll probably get where you actually need to be at. You probably just needed someone just to tell you, look, you can do it. You don't have to wait on nobody else. You don't have to wait for no validation from nobody. You are the validation to yourself. Always remember that. Never, if you have something you want to do, don't even share it with the next person. Just do it. Because when you share your business plan with everyone else, they might steal it. Know what I'm saying? So, I hope the best for you. And if you have a family, I hope the best for them as well. Just do it. Just get it done, though. You know what I mean? If I see you coming here again, I'll ask you, hey, you got that done? Have you got that done? And the only reason why I'm asking is not just to be on your ass. It's just more to say, I want the best for you. Just being honest. And I know you like, but this guy don't even know me. He want the best for me. Well, that's how love works. Like, people look at me and they don't even know what to say. They just be like, this guy is just so damn joyful. I might as well just get on the same wave that he's on. Like, yeah, I mean, love is for everyone. All you gotta do is just pick it up. It's in you. But don't let people suppress your love that you have for yourself. Don't do that. Always love yourself. Always benefit from yourself. You don't have to benefit from others. Just benefit from yourself, pretty much. And do what self wants you to do. Because, like I tell you before, your subconscious will show you many things about yourself. And all you're doing as the mind is just remembering who you are. And I know you don't want to leave this earth of not remembering who you are. And what I mean by that is by saying, do not let the matrix design a life for you that has never been true to your subconscious. Because your subconscious and your spirit knows everything about you. And you never want to leave this realm, and your spirit and your, pretty much your spirit says to you when you leave this realm, well, this is not the life that you picked. Think about it like this. Let's just say, I tell everyone, You're a co-creator of your existence. Okay? You wrote out your whole story of what you're going to live. But in the process of when you wrote it out, when you come to this realm, you may not remember. But if you was to naturally listen to your subconscious, which is within you, your subconscious is going to naturally gear you to where you actually need to be. That's it. That's it. So pretty much all I'm saying to you, my guy, is listen to yourself, and whatever that you truly want to do for yourself, get it done. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful world outside. Some people say, "Oh, it's a bad world outside because we're in inflation." Stop. 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 Do not attach yourself to the worldly things that are happening. What is going on in the world is going on in the world. If the world is crashing, you're not crashing. Do not attach what others are going through to yourself. Just because the country's inflation, they're in inflation. That has nothing to do with you. The housing market is falling down. That doesn't mean that you stop doing what you're doing. The financial market is falling down. All this, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is why I say stay in a positive mind state, because I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people are in fear of this financial crash that is going on, and it's going to keep going on for a little while. But I always tell people that this is a chance of opportunity and unity. And what I mean by that, as in saying, when you hear someone say the housing market is crashing, that is actually saying the housing market is a fire sale. Pay attention. Would you want to buy a house that's located in Florida at $100,000? Or would you prefer to wait for the market to crash, right, and buy it at $50,000? Perspectives. That's it. It's just perspectives. So for me, I'm looking at the world like, oh, it's resetting? Yeah. Oh, shit. This is good because I can get everything a lot more cheaper than what it was. Thank you. Okay? So that's everything that's crashing is supposed to crash so we can get in and win. When the stock market is going down, all you have to do is change your perspective. That means that the stocks are cheaper. You spend less money to own them. The housing market is crashing? Yes. I don't have to spend $100,000. I can only spend $50,000 to get this whole house. It's all about perspectives. You don't have to be in fear. You can really be within love. Okay? And look at things from how they really are. Because how America works with their psychological mind tricks is when they throw it in front of you, they're like, yeah, fear it. Run. If you get past that fear tactic and you look underneath, you be like, wow, it's nothing but fucking gold, diamonds, and rubies underneath here. Just for me. Right. Right. That's how America runs. So pay attention to the financial markets that are falling down, because there's opportunity in there for everyone. But everyone runs away from the opportunity because their minds are stuck within fear when they don't have to fear anything. I mean, why would you fear something that's going to happen anyway? It's just going to happen. The housing market is going to get shot up again. The stock market might get shot up again. Learn from it. Now, what I learned from the stock market was that when the stock market is getting shot up, that means I can buy stocks at a cheaper rate. Not only that, instead of doing calls, I would have to now do puts in order to get money on the back end. That's what I just learned. But if I would have fear and listen to everyone else, I wouldn't be where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So, Daniel, I hope the best for you, or whatever the case may be. I have to now get off this broadcast. You will see me back around, I do broadcasting around 8 p.m. So if you want some more high-tech information, I will definitely be here. It'll probably just be me and you in the room for a little bit. I'm just starting to do broadcastings here on YouTube. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, you can follow me on TikTok. I used to do a lot of lives on TikTok, but I am a person of truth. So I get banded for just speaking the truth and changing people's perspectives. And I also get banded on TikTok for helping people. I'm not a bad individual. I'm just going to tell you the truth, even if it hurts your feelings, because we are in a time of truth. We're not in a time of lies anymore. So, with that being said, Daniel, I see you again probably about 8 p.m. Next existence. I don't say tomorrow. Next existence. Maybe tomorrow for you, but next existence for me. 8 p.m. I'll be back in here. If you want to invite anyone here, we talk about everything. We don't talk about just what's going on with NATO and Russia. We talk about everything. Conversations get very deep, but realize the things that I'm saying is of truth, and I have really no reason to lie. Why? Because I look at myself as, if I'm lying to you, then I'm lying to myself first. And now I'm converting my mind into being a liar, which no one is going to say to me that what you are doing validates who you are. So, like I say again, hope the best for you. Get your business ideas done. Live your best life of what you want to do, not what everyone else is behind you telling you. You see the people behind you, they ain't really got nothing for themselves, and that's the truth. So why you listening to them? Listen to yourself, Daniel. With that being said, this is General Y God signing over and out. Have a nice one. Mic drop. Gunshots. My work is done here. Y'all have a nice one. How I stop this, y'all?